So we had some rare good news out of the Gaza Strip today after Hamas and Israel finally agreed to a second ceasefire agreement after 15 months of brutal fighting. This deal comes after months of painstaking negotiations by President Biden and his team. And with a strong push at the end from Donald Trump to get it over the finish line, Trump himself had said there will be all hell to pay if the two parties didn't agree to a deal. And it sounds like he really put pressure on the Israeli side that had been lacking in previous conversations. This deal has 3 phases. Many of the details of phases 2 and 3 need to be worked out during negotiations that will start during phase 1. But here's the gist of how it might look. Phase 1 will last 6 weeks. During that time, Hamas will release 33 hostages, mostly women, older men, and sick people, while Israel will release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, if not thousands of Palestinian prisoners. Fighting will pause for the duration of the first phase, and Israel will move its troops out of Gaza's population centers, while Palestinians will be allowed to return home. And there will be a surge of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. I read up to 600 trucks a day, which will be absolutely critical because there's such a need. Phase 2 will also last 6 weeks. Hamas will free the remaining hostages in exchange for more Palestinian prisoners, and Israel will fully withdraw troops from Gaza. And during the final phase, Hamas will release the bodies of dead hostages in exchange for the bodies of dead Palestinian fighters. Border crossings into Gaza will be opened, and the international community will begin what is likely to be a decades-long reconstruction project in Gaza. So this deal still needs to be ratified by the Israeli cabinet, but once that happens, it is supposed to take effect immediately and provide some critical relief to people in Gaza. But what's not at all clear is what political entity will govern Gaza going forward. And I think we're about to learn a lot more about the true death toll. I mean, the Gaza Health Ministry says more than 46,000 Palestinians have been killed in the fighting since October 7th, 2023. But once this reconstruction process happens, once the rubble is cleared away, I think we'll have even more insight into the true cost for the residents of Gaza from this last 15 months.